Okay,
Okay.
got it. Got it. Yeah.
So, or either you can do this or you can do like this. Say public float X value, X, just X, and save these values like this. And you can assign this value, say 0. This value could be Y. You can call it, say, 5 or whatever. This could be your Z is equal to, say, something 7, right? And then you can pass these values over here. Offset, instead of offset, you can just pass these values as new vector 3, but you still have to use the term vector. Now you can pass X, Y, and Z, right?
Got it.
This like this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the all the properties within Unity are expected to receive a vector 3. So it is nothing but they have defined a data type for their ease of use, which is called vector 3. But you can very well define individual variables and use them as per your use case. Okay.
Got it. That was set out. Thank you.
Okay. So any other questions, or if someone who is stuck somewhere, we can check that out before we move on to unit 2. Anyone who faced any issues with the unit 1 driving the tank or the car, obstacles, because we want to be on the same page before we proceed to unit 2. And the idea is like while we keep on learning new things, you should be working parallelly on your project. So one thing could be we can all come up with that tank game, make it visually appealing, and add some functionalities to it, like shooting a bullet out of it. Then if the bullet hits the opponent's vehicle, then the vehicle should blast. We have to add sound effects, some sort of visual effects as well, right? Or you can come up with your own idea of a game and you can try to incorporate all these learnings into that game. So Rishabh, Gautam, how about you? Were you able to do it, unit 1, or any issues?
No, sir.
So you are not able to do?
No, sir, I will do it. Solo.
Okay. Okay. Rahul Raj Singh,
Yes,
what
sir.
about you? Done?
It's done. Very initially, I was having issues, but then I went through the PDF step by step and everything was sorted.
Okay, nice. What about others? Lakshmi Srinath?
Um, I managed all the challenges except for the multiplayer thing. Otherwise, everything else is fine.
Okay, cool. Who else? If you have any problem, if you are stuck anywhere, this is the time we can discuss it. We can fix it.
Yeah,
Yes,
hello.
Ashutosh.
Yeah, I'm Soumya. So I was just stuck, like I'm not able to change the speed uh, of the tank, I'll say. Matlab
So
it is fixed either. Yeah.
is your speed variable a public variable?
Yes.
Then I think you have mentioned speed in the inspector window. So you have to change it from there. Then only it will change, because inspector window will overwrite its value to the code. So if you change any value in code and inspector has a value, then it will overwrite. So that's why your
So but
speed is not changing.
the same value I have put there in the inspector also.
Huh. But you
I
can,
have put
so can you share your screen and we
yeah,
can go to play mode and then you can change the speed.
yeah, I'll share.
Are you sharing the screen?
Yeah, just
Okay.
was asking for some permissions. It's the first time actually.
Okay.
Yeah, is it visible now, my screen?
Yes, it is visible.
So if
This
I
is your
play,
car and your speed
yeah,
is this one. Hmm.
I put
Your
in 40 here.
forward input, why does it have a value already? Okay, we
This
cannot
is the
read
speed
whatever
I'm
is there.
getting.
Okay, press. So, okay, speed is, you have written 40, but it is moving really slowly, right?
Yes.
Can you go to the script, this player controller script?
This is
So
it.
float speed is 40, and for transformer vector 3 forward, time altering forward input. And you now see in your code, check the line transformer translate. You tell me why your speed is not affecting this thing. Because there is no speed variable. You have to multiply by speed, right? So whatever is speed is not getting
Okay.
reflected in the translate line. Transform
Okay.
translate. So you have to multiply. This will be there into speed. That's it. So you want to
Okay.
have a speed variable. You have to capture keyword input. These two has to be multiplied with the delta time and the direction in which you want to move. So now it will work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
What else? This is fine. Control input. Speed cool. Okay. Anyone else who is facing any issues or a similar problem? We can fix it now, and then only we will go move forward. So all of you have to either fix the problem or like mention that you are done. Then only we'll move ahead. Ankush, what about you? All good? Or
Yes, sir, all
stuck
good.
anywhere? All good, right? Then Vishap, how about you?
Yes, sir. I have completed unit one and haven't done
Oh,
a challenge. And I'll do it today. Or
okay. Perfect, perfect. Nice. Cool. So what else? Deepak Pandey, what about you? All good? We are not able to hear you, Deepak, if you are saying something. Yes, yes. So I can see your hand raised, but try unmuting yourself and then maybe speak something because you are on mute right now. And even in unmute, it is not working. Maybe try joining from your phone or try changing your audio settings. So you will see your headset multiple times. Choose the one which has AG audio in the description or in the so that or use the basic microphone of your device. We are not able to hear you. Or write in WhatsApp because you can't hear you. Figure this out, Deepak, and then let me know if you have any issues or anything.
So Deepak has texted in the WhatsApp.
Challenge problem, now working on the bonus problem. Okay, fine. Cool. Then who else? Rahul Kumar Mishra, Tina Soni, any issues?
No issues in unit one. Unit two yet to do.
Okay. Rahul Kumar Mishra dropped off the call. Okay. So we'll start with unit 2 now, right? Let me share my screen. And this is the prototype 1. If everybody is done with this, let me just minimize. Then we can open unit prototype 2. So basically, I've created a new project. This is my root folder, not here. In my D drive, I have a root folder, Unity projects. These are my projects. This is the Unit 1 project, you can see. And similarly, I have created a new folder for Unit 2. So this is my Unity project, and this is the starter file that I need to import. And this is the lesson plan. I have the lesson plan open over here, and it's on my second screen. So we'll start from the starting, right? And the way we'll be doing it is I'll do something and then I'll wait for you to do it on your systems, right? Once all of us are in the same page, then we'll move on from there, right? So the idea is to do it together, not do it fast, but all of us should be able to follow the steps. Okay. So I have created a new project again with like simple. Went here, new project, and selected 3D built-in pipeline and given this path of my folder and the name to be prototype 2. Right. Then I have it open. This is the default scene. Now what I do, what I have to import the starter package. So I'll go back to my repository, extract it first, extract all, extract it. This is extracted. Right. So starter file, this is my package I want to import. So to import the package, what I'll do is I'll go to assets, import package, custom package. I'll point to this particular directory, which is unit 2 basic gameplay, starter files, and the package. Then I'll open it. It will show a list of items which are contained in the package. And then I click on import. So now once it is imported, we have to open the scene. So if we see there is a new folder added, course library, which has all the files, and I like to see it this way. That's why I'm using the scroll bar to get this view. Right in the course library, we see all the different folders. Right. So for starting up, we have to open this particular scene, prototype 2. Right. Now this is how it looks like. Okay. Now as per the instructions in the PDF, see it has a main camera which is over here, which is looking down. So the main camera is turned by 90 degrees and is up in the y direction, right? Then there is a directional light and we have an environment. Environment contains three things: the ground, the center part, the left border, and the right border. Okay. So the next step is to add a player, animal, and a food item. So what we will do is either we can create our own asset like we saw in the very first class by using cubes or some other shapes, or else we can use predefined assets. So if I go to say humans, let me pick up something, say this one, and this is going to be my player. Let's see how does it look like. Okay, this is fine, more like a Minecraft character. I'll rename this. What I'll do is I'll just rename this to player. Okay, capital P. And then I would like to add some animals. So it says drag one human, three animals, and one food. So I'll pick up three animals. So one from dog, let's say Labrador. Then I would like to pick up one farm animal, let's say a horse. And I would like to keep one forest animal, let's say moose. Okay, now we have to place it somewhere. Okay, so I can click here and move them around, or maybe use the arrow keys to move them around and somewhere here, right? I also have to add a food item. So I'll go to my source files, source library, food, and I will see. So there are already prefabs. So basically, it's a predefined game object with all the components attached. See, it has a mesh renderer, it has a material attached, it has a transform. Okay, so it is not just a 3D model, but it is a game object, and we have created a prefab out of it to reuse in our applications. Okay, so I have to add a food item, bone, energy can, fish. Fish is fine, or maybe let's keep pizza only. Okay, so this is my pizza. This is how it looks like. Maybe like move it a bit further and up, and maybe scale it. So I'll select all of this. I'll scale it to 2. It looks good, right? It's big enough. It's visible in this view as well, right? So we are done. Yeah, we are done with step 2. Now we go to step 3, which is get the user's horizontal input. So this is something we have already seen, how to get the horizontal input to make the robot move in the XY, make the player move in the XY direction. The idea is my player should move in this direction and keep throwing the food. and the animals will be running towards him, like a generic 2D platformer game. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go to my assets. I'll create a new folder. Okay, sorry. First of all, let me know who all are done till this point, or we are waiting. Create a new project. Call it prototype 2. Then import the assets, starter files into it. Go to the prototype 2 scene, add a player, add a human being, add 3 animals and 1 food object. Okay, so now it's your turn. I am stopping the share. So Tina Soni, is it done for you? Gautam done for you as well. Rahul Raj, Ankush, Som, please let me know because we have to do it together. We don't want you to spend some extra time apart from this class. Okay. So guys, please let me know if you're able to do it or not so that we can go forward, or if it is not done, then we can do it together. So we are done till step 2 of the PDF. Let me know if you're able to do it till step 2. Hello guys, any inputs? Done, not done, stuck, doing. Okay, done for Som. Bishop, done for Bishop. Raj, who else? Rahul Raj, Ankush, Tina.
So doing not done yet.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Tina, done for you. So we have to create a new project. Okay, call it prototype 2, and we have to import these files, the Unity package. Then we have to add 1 human, 3 animals, and a food item. Okay. And we have to adjust the scale of the food so you can easily see it from above. Let me know quickly if it is done so that we can proceed. Rajshekhar, done for you? Roshan,
Yeah. Yes, that was.
Abhigyan,
Yes, sir. Done for me.
okay, Deepak, Rishabh,
Yes, sir. Done.
done. Cool then. So we move forward from here.
Sir, I'm also done, sir.
Okay, cool then. So we are going forward. So next is so the goal for us is to move it in the horizontal direction. So we will capture the horizontal input just like we did in the last game as well. Okay. So for that, first of all, we will go to our assets folder, create a new folder to contain all our scripts called scripts. Okay, this is not the correct way. Let's delete this. We have to create a new folder, not the script first. So I'll create a new folder. We'll call it scripts. Then we'll go inside scripts folder, create a new script, C# script. We'll call it player controller, or let's call it say farmer controller. Why I'm not naming it player controller is just out of my wish. Because like if you have any other script with the player controller, if you want to merge different projects together which have the same script with the same name, then there's going to be a conflict. So it happened in the last session. Right, so I am calling it farmer controller and I am renaming my player as farmer. right? And in the farmer computer controller, we have to capture the horizontal input of my player, right? So we know how do we do that? Why this thing is not working? Why? Computer. If it is installed, how to read the full message? Make sure it can be found through the path environment variables. It will not work without a supported version of this one. So you need to start the VS Code or the computer. Okay, so I've installed it, but I have to restart the computer, and it is not in the path variable. But why? It should be there in the. Just a second, guys. And edit environment variables. Yes. Then environment variables. It is there. It is in the path variable. Okay. What else it says? Can be found through the path environment variables. There has to be one more path variable here. It has Zulu. What else is there? Well, let's just copy it. So PowerShell script root, system root, web start. There has to be a capital P path as well. Okay, this is successfully repaired. Close. So I'll fix it before tomorrow's class, and then let you guys know. It should add to the path variable by default. Why it is not doing that? See VS Code, it is there. .NET Tools is there. Okay, cool. Leave it for now. I'll write the code here. So we have what we have to do is, first of all, we have to just create a variable for horizontal for keyboard input to store keyboard input. To store keyboard input. Put here in the update function, we want to do it, capture a keyboard input and move the player left, right based on the keyboard input. Right, so what we'll do is just like in the previous class, we'll define a variable. It has to be like public for now, public float horizontal input, let's call it, because we want to move it horizontally input, and then we want to capture the input, say horizontal input is equal to input dot get. Okay, it is not taking input as well because input dot get access. Nothing is coming in colors because of the same thing. We'll call it horizontal, and now we want to move the player based on this input. So what we'll do is, and we also need a keyboard input, a variable to get the speed, variable to store the speed of movement, right? Because you want to control how fast the player is going left and right. So let's just copy paste from here, Control C, Control V. We can rename it as what? Speed. Okay. And let's keep it a value, say for 10 for now. And to move the object, we have to do is transform dot translate. So no intelligence is coming. And how we have to move it in the left and right direction. That means we have to use vector3 dot right. I have to multiply it by speed. We have to multiply it by with what? Time dot delta time. C is capital, no intelligence, delta time. D is small. Okay. And I have to multiply it with what? Horizontal input. Let's see if this works. And yeah, one more thing before we test it out, we have to attach the script. It says a problem. What is expected? Yes, a semicolon is expected. So it says semicolon expected. Right, so I have to attach this. I have to move this particular game object with this script. So I will attach this like this. Now I can see over here. Now if I click on play and use my keyboard, it should be moving left and right. See, it is moving left and right based on my keyboard input. And if you look at this value, it will keep on changing depending on the amount of time for how long I am pressing the keys. It starts from say 0 and then goes up to +1 in the right direction and minus in the left direction. Okay, cool. So let me know if you are able to do it till now, then we move ahead from here. And if you're already done, then just give a thumbs up or just say you are done. Rajshekar, Avinash, Abhigyan, Deepak, Rishabh.
You're done. Doing it, sir.
Okay.
Not done yet, sir. Doing it.
Okay. So what we did is we created a folder called scripts in the assets folder. We created a new script called farmer controller. You can name it whatever you want. In the farmer controller script, what we did, we defined two variables. One to capture the keyboard input of left and right keyboard input, the other variable to create define the speed of the movement. Then in the update function, we actually capture the input using input.getAxis, and the axis that we want to capture is the horizontal axis, meaning left and right arrow keys or A or D, right? Then we want to move based on this input, so we did transform.translate, meaning change the transform, or there is a predefined function called translate, which moves in a particular direction by a particular amount. So basically, this function takes a a new vector as an input, new vector 3 as an input. Okay. With this, we were able to do it. So let me know if you are able to do it. Then we move ahead from there. This is the script. You let me know if it is done. Meanwhile, I'll try to fix that. C# dev kit issue. Guys, done? Shall we go ahead? Avinash, Deepak, Roshan, Som, Ankush, Abhigyan, unknown user. This is me, I think, or not. Guys, give me a go ahead if it is done. Done for Som. Who else? So, done for Ashekar as well. So let's move ahead, or we wait for 2 more minutes. Okay, guys, done. Then let's move ahead. Okay, let me share prototype 2 and what else do we have to do? So now the thing is, if we have to have certain limits for our player movement, right? So let me just zoom out. If I take it at this far, my player is almost at the edge of the screen. So the player can keep moving, but the user will not be able to see the player, right? So we want to keep some limits. Let's say this is fine. This is what x is equal to 14 minus 14, and this is x is equal to 14. So let's keep x is equal to 14 as the x and y limits, right? So what I do want to do is, if the user is moving within this minus 14 and plus 14 in the x range, then it should be able to move. As soon as it tries to go out or it touches the boundary, then what I want to do is I want to not allow the user go beyond it, and whenever he tries to move beyond the limit, it should reset its position to the limit. So basically, if the user is here and he presses the right key, instead of going right, it will respawn at this position. So we have to do a check. So I'll go to my script, whatever, right? So now what we want to have is a check for the user bounds, right? So let's do, how do we check? We write a if loop, if transform. And how do we check the for the player? Transform dot position dot x is less than say 14, then it is okay. So what I'll do is I'll just cut and paste it over here. If it is less than 14, then or not, maybe this is fine. We'll do it separately, right? So I'll return a check over here. If my transfer is less than this, then what I want to do is I want to do basically nothing. This is the correct case. If it is more than 14, what I want to do is I want to transform dot position dot transform dot position. I want to set it to what? 14 comma this thing. Whatever is my y, the y will remain same, and whatever is my z, the z will remain same. That means reset the x coordinate to be 14. That is at the limit, at the boundary. right? So let's see if this works. If we try to move beyond 14, it will always reset my position to 14. Let's see. There is an error. I think what it is, yes, semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon ever because it says over here. See, there is still an error. The former non-invocable member transfer position cannot be used like a method. Cannot be used like a method. Okay. Yeah. So basically, uh, if I do transform dot position and pass something in brackets, that means I am this thing is a function and I'm passing some variables, but this thing is not a function. So we have to use something like this new vector 3, right? So this is just a property which you can get or set. So you can read the property value and set the property value, but it has to be set in like this way using a equal to symbol, not like a function that we can set. Okay, that is what is meant by this thing. This particular error, right? There is no error right now. Let me play. If I try to go beyond 14, it should not allow me to go beyond 14. Let's see, X is now 14 and see, it is 14. Now it is not moving. See, it is fixed at 14. And I can come back, but it is not allowing me to go beyond 14. Awesome. Right? So now we have to keep a check on the left hand side as well. So better than this, what we can do is we can just create a variable because we can't, maybe it is still, maybe 14 for you will not work. And if you move the camera a bit up and down, then the range will change. So the better bit is to create a variable for it. So variable for the bounds, for the screen bounds, right? Let's call it public float x range is equal to 14. And what I'll do is if x is greater than x range, or this thing is, and so how do we do and? And is like this, is less than minus x range, right? Then what it should do is it we have to do it separately, I think, right? So there is no point because you have to set at different values, right? So if I am going beyond, so basically if user goes beyond the right range, beyond the r- right range, meaning off the screen in the right side. Then do this, and similarly, if my player goes beyond the left range of the screen, the left hand side. Okay, then the condition will be less than minus x range. So basically, if my x position of the player is less than the negative, say minus 14, it should. Then what I want to do is set it to minus x range, and this will be minus x range, right? Plus this will be plus x range. So if my player is going beyond the right hand side boundary, then what I'm doing is I'm changing the transform position of my player to be only stay at the boundary and not go beyond it. And if it is going beyond towards the left hand side, it is crossing the boundary. I'm setting the position to be at the boundary, not beyond it. Okay, so let's save it and see how it works. So now I should not be able to move beyond this 14 in the x direction and beyond minus x 14 in the negative x direction. So if I select my farmer, it is already at minus 14, right? So if I go right, it should work. Okay. So basically, if you click outside the window and press keyboard, it will not work. You have to click on the playing window to make it work. So maybe I'll just play maximized and then see so that it looks better for you. See, my player is moving in the right direction. and it is not going beyond this. In the left direction, it is not going beyond this point. Okay, so this is my range. And if I want, I can change it from this direction, from this. I can increase the range to say 20 and then play it, then it will go beyond 14 up to 20. Right? If we have given it a, see if I go left, it will go up to this point. I think this is perfect. And right is also perfect. Speed could be a bit more. We can change that as well. So that's the whole point of creating variables, right? Okay. So let me know if you're able to do it till this point. I'll just hide this. Yeah, this is my script, farmer controller. So let me know if you're able to do it. Vishap, Rashekar, Rahul.
Yeah, I was able to.
Okay. So now with this we have learned that we are able to move the player in the horizontal direction, and there is a certain limit to the player movement. We are controlling all of that from code, right? And we learned about the if statement. Next, what we want to do is we have to shoot the food. So let me know if you are done till here, then we will shoot the food and great. Move the animals. So let me know if you're able to do it. If you have any problems. Avinash, Imandi, done for you.
No,
Okay,
sir,
Deepak
I'm
Pandey done.
doing.
Okay, Prakriti.
Yeah, done.
Okay, great. Roshan. So we just have to add these two lines of code, which are checking for the right hand side boundary and left hand side boundary. Still doing okay. Tina Soni. Rishabh Gautam. Tina, you have to say anything. Done.
Sir, I'm doing.
Okay.
Actually, light went off in our hostel, so.
Okay. Done for everyone. Any issues? Any weird behavior you encountered? Please share.
Yeah, I encountered a weird behavior. Like it was
Okay.
going towards the left and it was coming through right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then I
And that,
think yeah. So basically, this thing is inverted for you. So you
yeah,
did
no,
minus here and plus here.
yeah, I figured it out actually.
Yeah. So maybe like if it is going towards the right range, you are spawning it here. And if it is going on this range, you are spawning it here.
Yeah,
Could be a feature. You can make some kind of portals like this. If you enter here, you will come out from here. Something like that
yeah.
for the game you're thinking. Yeah. Done, guys. Abhigyan, what about you? So far, so good.
Sir, I have wrote the code, but the player is not moving.
Oh, have you attached the script to the player game object like this?
Yeah, I have drag and drop, right, sir?
So you should be able to see it over here. So sometime what may happen is you are dragging it from here to here, and you leave it at this point or this point. Then it will not be visible. So just see if you click on the farmer or your player, you should see this script, player controller, farmer controller, whatever you're calling it. If it is not visible, then there is some problem with drag and drop.
There is the farmer controller script.
It is there,
It's not.
and the
Yes.
and if you're pressing the keyboard, it is not working.
Uh,
You have to click play mode, and you have to be on the screen, the game window, and then you have to do this click thing. Let me change the size so that it is visible. Yeah, cool. Okay, so if you click on the player, you should be able to see it right here. And once you click on play, then you should be able to use the keyboard. See, left and right, it is happening for me. But the one thing is I have to change the transform to say 0. So that it starts from the center. Okay. Or yeah. So what could go wrong is if your no. If your starting position for the player is somewhere here, right, out of the screen or maybe out of the range, then it might cause an issue. But that is handled in my code. So if the position is beyond the X range, it will set it to the X range. Let me know if
Should
it
I
is
delete
fixed.
and restart the code?
No, just share a screen once. We will see what went wrong because we should understand what went wrong and why it is not working. Right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. I will
So
join
maybe
from
you
my
can,
computer.
you can join from your desktop or you can just point the back camera, then we can see it. What went wrong? You have to just hold the mobile at a still position. Yeah. How to make you big full screen? Pin for me, spotlight for everyone. Spotlight for everyone. Okay, can you rotate it? Now rotate the phone towards your left hand side. Your phone. Okay. No, not happening. So it is in the update function. Can you take it a bit closer? We cannot read. Yeah, so transform dot translate vector 3 dot right. You are moving it in the right direction. And it is called farmer controller. Horizontal input, get horizontal until time speed. Now show the Unity editor. What is the issue there in the editor if you play it? So is it throwing any error? All compiler errors needs to so you have to you go to Windows, click on General and show the console window. So console window is required to understand the errors. The bottom line in the red, what it says. No, in Unity, go to Window tab on the top. What it says, the bottom red line, the console window is not. Click on the console window. What is the error? All compiler. Second line is there is a double click on the second error. Second error, assets. Double click. Now it will open it in the VS Code. The cursor will be there where the error is on the line. So you have to add one more colon. So see, your first of all, there are one bigger brackets for the complete class. Then inside that, you are writing a code in update function. So add one more curly bracket over here. So there is no proper closure. Right now it should work. Save it and then do it. At the end of the update function, write add one curly bracket, closing curly bracket. It says it is mentioned in the error as well. It is working now. Cool. Yes, fine. Great. So if it is done for everyone, we will do one last thing for before we finish for today is that we have to make the food move forward, or we have to add the behavior where player can shoot the food, right? So what I'll do is I will select the food over here, rename it to just food, and what I'll do is we are in the unit 2.2 food flight, right? And so what we have to do is we have to create a new script and we will rename it as move forward, right? And basically we have to move uh, we have to make the game object move forward without any input by default. So what we'll do is we'll define a public float and called speed is equal to, let's take 40. I'm just following the and the update function. What I'll do is I'll write transform dot translate in the which direction, vector forward direction, vector 3 dot forward forward and by what amount. So I'll do time dot delta time and speed. So it is like shooting bullets from a gun. So whenever I press up keyboard button, uh, sh the food should start moving forward. Okay, so this is it. I'll just save it, save the script, come back to Unity, and basically I need to attach this script to my food item. So food I have selected. Now I can just add it over here. So it is attached. Now if I click on play, the food should start going in the forward direction. So for food, the forward direction is this one. If I play, the food should go forward. Yeah, the food is going forward, correct. Right. Again, we will see from this angle. So now the food is going forward like this. Okay, great. Now, this is just one single food item, but what we want is our player should be able to shoot food repeatedly by pressing the spacebar key. So for that, I need to spawn the food items during the runtime of the game. So what I'll do is I have to create a prefab of this particular object. So I'll go to my assets folder, create a new folder called prefabs. And in prefabs, I'll just drag and drop this item. It will ask me to create an original prefab or a prefab variant. Why? Because this thing is already a prefab. So all these things are not in blue color. The things in blue color are a prefab of already a prefab. So I want to create an original prefab, not a variant. So I'll create an original prefab. I'll call it food. Right now, this thing is approved. I can keep adding it like this. And all my food items, if I click F, so all my food items will be having what? All my food items will be having these properties, right? It will have a move forward script attached, and all of them will move forward when I click play. See, all of them are going forward, right? Awesome. So now what we want to do is we want to spawn this particular food item once we press the space bar. So basically from the player, I want to shoot the food item. Okay. So from the player, it should shoot the food item. So we will write this particular part of code in the player controller script. So we'll go to farmer controller, open the script, and here we want to spawn a food item, right? So based on a key input. So I'll create a variable again. So variable to hold the food item to be spawned. Food item to be shot. Okay, shot or to throw. To shoot. That is it. Right. So we'll create And what kind of my that item is? It's of type game object. Okay, so I'll create public game object. The variable is of type game object, and the name is say food item or food prefab. We'll write it as that prefab of food. Okay. Now I want to spawn this item when I press the space bar, right? So let's capture space bar press. Space bar being pressed. Okay, how do I do that? So I'll do if check if the space bar is pressed. Better check if space bar is pressed. So I'll do is input dot get key down G capital, K capital, D capital, and my key is going to be key code. Key code basically captures all the keyboard inputs dot space. Basically, it is has to be SPACE, right? If it is there, then what I want to do is I want to instantiate. So instantiate, basically, let me write in command first. Spawn the food prefab at the location of the player, right? We want to spawn the prefab at the player location. So what I'll do is instantiate t8 instantiate. What I want to instantiate prefab food at what location? The location will be player or transform dot transposition, right? And what should be the orientation? The rotation should be food prefab dot transform dot rotation. Let's see if this works. I'm not getting any uh, IntelliSense because I changed the laptop. So if I now press the keyboard, it should spawn the food items. But one thing remains, it will not work. We will see why. The thing is, I have not added the item to be spawned or the prefab I have not assigned in the inspector. It does not know what to spawn. It knows there is a variable called food prefab, but what actually does that hold? So if I now click on play, it should throw me an error when I press the spacebar. See, this is moving. If I press spacebar, I'm getting error. And it says unassigned reference exception. The variable food prefab of farmer controller has not been assigned. So it is not assigned, it is just defined. Okay. So basically, it's like saying if I ask you to fetch me a glass of water, but you only know fetch me a glass of water and I don't give you the glass, then you can't get me water, right? There'll be an error. So I will call, okay, get me water, get me water, get me water. But you only know I have to fetch a glass of water, but I have not given you the glass to hold the water, right? It's something like that. So what I'll do is in my Enfarmer script, in the prefab, I have to attach the prefab from the prefabs folder, not from here, right? It cannot, because this is a part of the scene already. So if you spawn it, it will happen only once. So let me just show it to you. So if I attach this thing and I click on play, so it will spawn the food only once. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is working because we have made a prefab of this as well. So if this thing is not a prefab, say suppose I do prefab, I'll do unpack completely, and then I in the player in my farmer thing I assign this. Then it will shoot only once because this thing is not a prefab. It's a single instance of a game object. So only once it will shoot food and then it will go away. Right? So it is gone. Now see if I spawn again, why it is still working? I think they updated this with the new code. With the new version of the Unity. Okay, previously it did not, it was not, it will not work if it is not a prefab. Great. So one more problem solved for you. So either you can assign it from the hierarchy or you can assign it from the prefab folder. The better way of doing is to assign from the prefabs folder, right? So I'll just assign this, and maybe I can remove all of these now. I'll save my scene and play it once. So I can see I can keep spawning the food items and it will move in the right direction, right? So I can go around and keep shooting. And you can see my hierarchy is populating with food clone items. So like this I can do. So let me know if you are able to do till now. This is it for today. And we will continue from this from the next class, maybe tomorrow. So just let me know if you are able to do it till here.
Could you open that VS Code page for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I had one doubt in that last instantiate. There we are writing prefab food dot transform dot rotation. Why are
Yes.
we adding rotation?
So you can actually not rotate add this parameter, but this is a simpler case where we want to just spawn the food item as it is. Suppose you have a use case where you want to spawn the game object or a prefab in a specific rotation, not in the default rotation, then you can need to add this. Otherwise, you can just do this and it should work. This thing will
So
not
that
work
would
because
mean the okay.
huh.
So the pizza slice would rotate in this case.
Yes. That's the point. So if I now play, now you will see the prefab will always spawn from the center. Wherever my player moves, it does not matter. See, it is spawning from the center only. So that's why I gave it the
Yeah.
position that it should come from my player. So right, so that's why I gave this particular thing. Let me do Control Z. Yeah, and I'll just do not give the rotation. Right. Let me save it, and now it should be the same. Okay, it says to what is this? The error is cannot convert from Unity vector 3 to Unity scene management scene. Yeah. So basically the signature, I'm not able to go to its particular definition, no definition found. But if you are able to see it in yellow color, then you can do right click and go to definition. You will see there are like multiple you call it polymorphism that there are different arguments that this can take. So either it will take the just the food prefab or it will take position and rotation, right? So I can write position and prefab dot rotation, prefab food dot transform dot rotation. Okay, like this, then it will work. So like if you're giving it three parameter, it means first thing is the object to spawn, second thing is the position, third thing is the rotation. And if you're giving it just two arguments, then it asks for something like which object to spawn and maybe in which scene you want to spawn, something like that. Okay, so I'll give you now it should spawn in the correct rotation. So see, if I press spacebar, it is now spawning from the pair. So if I go here and press spacebar, that means spawn the food prefab at this particular position, right? Because I am passing this parameter transform.position. And this transform means on which this script is attached. Basically the farmer game object, right? So what I can do is I can give one more example where I want to spawn it at a specific location. So I can define a new vector three, or maybe I'll do it just here only. So instead of doing it new position, I want to spawn it as say new vector 3, and the spawn I want to spawn say in the x direction go by 5 degree, in the y direction go by 2 units, in the z direction it should be 0. And I use this, then all the new items will be spawned at this location, right? Let's see. So if I do it, so basically where is the point? I don't know. We'll figure out. See, at this position only it is spawned, right? And if we check, okay, it will be changed. See the position X is this, Y is this, Z is this. Z is changing because of the script we have attached, right? Now let's change the rotation also. How do we change the rotation? Let's give a rotation value. Right.
Can't we just copy paste new vector 5 to 0 over there as well? Because three vectors.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm thinking. But the value should be, I think it's in degrees, then it will be a very small th change, but it should appear. It says the issue. What is the issue? Cannot convert unity vector 3 to quaternion. So basically, it takes angle in quaternion. So I would like to say quaternion. And I think it takes four variables. Let's put 0, right? And let's see if this works. So basically, this thing, position is a vector 3 item, but rotation is a different vector altogether. It's not vector 3, it is a quaternion. We can convert to degrees as well, but let's see if this works. See, it is going in the opposite direction now, maybe because of some random reason. If I click now, see, it is tilted.
Yeah.
If I just focus on this, maybe let me reduce the speed a bit. So if I go to I'll just pause it. If I go to my prefab food, and I change the speed to say just 2, just to observe how does it look like. And let's see, I'll just define a variable for this thing so that we can change it in the play mode and see how does it look like. So public quaternion, and we name it world rot is equal to this, and we can change it, and we'll put it rot,
Hmm.
right? And let's see how this we can. Now we should be able to change it over here for the food. Okay, it says okay, semicolon is
Then
missing, so don't forget the semicolon ever. Okay, so if I play, we can see if I press the spacebar, it should move really slowly. See, it is going in. Now we can investigate this. See, it is going like this, and this is the orientation. Now, if I check my farmer script and rotation, this is the angle. If I maybe just keep following this. Okay, if I change the value, maybe for the new one, say if I change this to this, I don't know how does it translate to degrees, but there there is a transformation. Why it is not changing? Maybe to this, Z also to this, and this also to that. So there is a scale thing. So what I'll do is I'll just click here and press one more. See, now it is going in another direction. So the second food item,
hmm.
if I click on F, see it is going like this. And the axis also got changed, right? This is because of this W parameter. See, it is going downwards based on my rotation. And the rotation also is keeps on changing, yeah? What is
I
the
think it's
trajectory it is following? Yeah,
revolving.
revolving as well, right? So let me just check how can I give an angle in say rotation angles, provide angles for rotation in Unity. Okay. So script left-handed coordinate system, Euler angles. Quaternion dot Euler. Yeah. So this is the description. How you can see like how rotation and orientation is handled. So it is basically LHS, left-handed coordinate system, and Euler angles have a gimbal lock problem. So basically, if two of the axis align, then you lose 1 degree of freedom. Okay. So what I am trying to say is that if you say your shoulder and your elbow, if both the axes are pointing in the same direction, then changing any angle will not give you that degree of freedom to move around. Maybe you can check about it. It's the issue with the Euler angles. That's why quaternions are much preferred. So we can convert using quaternion dot Euler, right? So if you want to convert quaternion to Euler angles, use so basically what I'll do is here if I do, or what do we want? We want to give Euler angles and treat it as convert from Euler to quaternion. So quaternion dot Euler. quaternion angle. So what I'll do is I can just define what will take as input. Transform dot quaternion and identity static methods. So unity quaternion to Euler example. Okay, easy. We can
Oh,
directly pass quaternion dot Euler, right? So we can just copy paste this and maybe pass it over here directly. And let's see if it works. There's an extra bracket. Dot Euler. So we will get Euler from quaternion or what? This says to convert from Euler angles to quaternions. Right. So basically, these values are in degrees, and this thing is converting this degrees to quaternion. Let's see. So it is x in the x direction by 45 degree, y direction by 90 degree, z direction by 180 degree. So how will it look like? We will test it. So x direction by 45. This is my x direction, so it has to be pointing in this way, and in the y direction it is 90. So y is this, and 90 with respect to the y-axis. That means again towards the x-axis only, because anti-clockwise. And then in the z direction it is by 180. So z by 180 means it will be pointing in the x direction. That's my calculation. The food items will be pointing in the x direction only. But why about 90? Y is 90 is this or this, and then 180 along the z direction. So it will be vertical and pointing towards the x direction. Okay, this is something different completely. Let's see. Okay, it is going like this. Rotation is 145 in the x direction. Y is minus 90. Okay, that is because of the conversion. And XYZ is changing in a different way. Move forward. And why move forward is changing? Because my this Z vector is changing because of the angular conversion. That's why I have given it the script is saying move forward. Move forward basically means move in the Z direction. But if my Z direction is changing on every frame, then I will be instead of moving in a straight line, my object will be actually tracing a curve, right? That's what
mm,
it's happening right now. So maybe let's try to change it to some x by 45 and let all others be 0. Now it is simpler. No, it should be just x-axis is 45. So if I check on my food item, let me add a food item in the prefabs folder. I'll add a food item. Let's F to focus on it. Now x is 45. What will look like is this. Okay, x-axis is this. With respect to 45, it is going down. So what I want to do is I want 45 with respect to my y-axis or my z-axis is 45. Okay, z is this one. This is not. I want
y-axis.
y-axis should be 45. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so I'll make this one 45 and let's see if this works. And I'll just undo it 0 and let it be. When I play, my prefab will be pointing in Hasi. Awesome. So like this.
Yeah.
So suppose now you want to create a power up kind of a thing. Suppose like first time you get a power up, it will shoot in the forward direction. Next time it will start like if you have played that space shooters game. So you have different kind of bullets which can spread in other directions. So this is how you can control all of that. And the position, my with my player position, this thing is not changing. Why? Because I'm spawning in this particular position only. Right. So that's why I wanted to shoot from within my player. So I've given transform dot position and rotation I have taken of the food object only. So I'll take
Mm,
prefab food dot transform because I cannot directly access the rotation. The rotation is part of the transform property. Transform property is a part of the game object thing. So I'll first access the game. This is my game object. Dot I access the transform property. Dot I access the rotation property. Rotation. Let's see. Now it is the default behavior we want. And I can remove this food item not required. Okay, so now this is working, but my food is taking time to reach. Okay, so what I'll do is
We
I
reduce
can,
the speed to 2, I think.
yeah. So I'll just increase the speed, food prefab, and the speed will be in the food prefab thing, and I can increase the speeds to say 40, right? Yes. Okay. Now it should be fine. Okay, I've changed it in prefab mode. So once I come out of the play mode, it will be again the same or not. Yeah, cool. If I click on play now, it should be 40. Yeah, awesome. So really good discussion. Thank you for that question. Now let me know if you're able to do it till now, or you can do it at your home. Tomorrow we'll start from here. So what we will do tomorrow is that we want the animal to move towards the person, and we will be shooting food towards the animal. If the my food item hits the animal, then the animal should go away or like say disappear. So all of it we are going to do it in tomorrow's class. Okay, if you have any doubts, please go ahead, or else we are done for the day.
I had no more doubt. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prakriti. Really good question. Okay, Gautam Manna, all done for the day. Nice living room you got there.
Yeah.
Virtual room.
Yeah. So I think today this one
Some other class.
the
Okay, my
attendees
camera was off all this while. Okay, then all the
today
gestures
attendees are
comes up in the
also
way.
they have reduced. I don't know why. So tomorrow
What?
maybe in the class attendees have reduced.
Okay, no, they mentioned in the group, no, there is some other class which might extend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, up to 7, but I don't think it will be going up till here, up till now.
Okay.
See.
Okay.
Cool. Maybe if
Okay.
the others join tomorrow as well, then we can do it once more so that
Okay.
all of us could be on the same page. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Thank
Guys,
you.
so maybe Prakriti, which class is that?
I think it was Vivekan's class. They told us like it was going to extend. And there might
Okay.
also be an issue like many girls might not have joined because currently our hall doesn't have electricity for the past 1 hour.
Oh, okay. Fine.
What kind of third world problems are there?
Yeah.
No electricity, no internet. Strange. Even in 2024, we have these issues.
Yeah.
Cool then. Hopefully
Yeah.
tomorrow there is electricity in the village and we can join. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, guys. Okay, Vinay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks for the
Gautam.
session.
See you
Yeah.
tomorrow. Bye bye.
See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Either stop recording for me. Stop recording. Stop.